So hello everyone, this is Safdar and welcome back to my channel. So I hope you're doing well. So in this video, we will be seeing that how much JavaScript is required to learn reactjs in 2024. So in general, first of all, you should know the basic concepts of HTML and CSS because HTML and CSS is the backbone of the web development, and you should know these basic concepts. All the markups you should know. I have covered many of these topics in CSS like CSS Flexbox because making a basic website needs this kind of things. Be seeing the basics of JavaScript because JavaScript is like very important. You should know JavaScript because React is also based in JavaScript only. So first of all, you should know JavaScript before starting React. So let's start the topics which you should know before learning React.js. The first topic will be variables. You should know the variables because variables are containers for storing data values. So there are basically three kinds of variables. First is let, var, and const. And you should know that what's the use of let, var, and const, and how the data is stored. You should know all these things. You should know that how var values are stored in the global memory and how let and const creating a temporary memory. So all these things you should know. So the second thing you should know is hoisting. So hoisting is a JavaScript mechanism where variables and functions declarations are moved to the top of their container scope during the compilation phase. Okay. You might have heard about the temporary date phase also. So these are the phases like I'm creating an example for you because you should know like how data is stored and how JavaScript is working, how JavaScript works. You should know all these things. Let's suppose if we write var a is equals to 10, okay, and then we do a console log for that. Sorry, I will written a comma over there. So I will do a console log, console.log. So I'm not using any code editor, I'm just explaining you. So how this data is getting stored, I will be telling you all this. Well, it is creating in the form of stack. Okay. So this is called global execution context where a equals to 10. So I will be creating one more thing. I will be creating a table over here of memory and code. So what it will store? It will store first of all, it will store undefined. As you know that in var, it will store as undefined, and after this, the code execution will work. Okay, this code execution will work. It will do the code execution. It will do the code execution. So what it's there? It's var a is equals to 10. Var a is equals to 10. So this undefined will be removed with 10. Okay. So this is a small example. We will not dive into this in a deep manner. I will be creating a different video and tutorial that you will be seeing in my playlist also in future. So you should know this hosting concept. Okay, this is also an important phase. I think it comes under variables only, but I have given it a second topic. Okay, so moving on to our third topic, that is functions. So functions are also very important. Functions are blocks of reusable code. Okay. And functions are very beautiful, and it is very important in JavaScript because everything happens inside a function only in JavaScript. So there are different types of functions. First of all, there is arrow functions. Then there is a high order function. Okay, you should know all these topics like arrow functions and high order functions. Okay. Array and objects. You should know what is array and objects. So arrays are ordered lists, and what happens in a case of objects? They are in the form of key and value pairs. So you should know all these concepts like array destructuring, object destructuring, because how the array is destructured, you should know all these things, and how the objects are destructured, you should know all these things. And the third and fourth part is sub part is rest operator and spread operator. You should know these topics that comes under arrays and objects. Okay, if you're dealing with arrays and objects, you should know these topics like rest operators, spread operators, array, and objects. So moving ahead to our next topic, that is conditions in JavaScript. So you should know conditions in JavaScript because it is used for decision making. You should know the if else part, how if and else, like if you have done a simple programs like that, you can do simple programs like that, like if age is greater than 18, it will print you are eligible to vote. In the form of console log, you can print you are eligible to vote, else you are not eligible to vote in the form of console log. Okay, you can write like that. You should know what is ternary operator. What you should also know optional chaining. Okay, so these are the important things. So which are important. You should also know that what does double equals to do and what does triple equals to do. Like what is the difference between them? Like double equals to only checks that both the values are true. Okay, and triple equals to it is much more stricter than double equals to because it also checks the what kind of data type is there or what kind of what type is there. Okay, so moving ahead to our sixth topic, that is array methods. Okay, so methods are used for manipulating arrays. So how the arrays are manipulated, so if you're dealing with the arrays part, you should know this array methods such as like map, filter, reduce, and sort. Because if you're writing programs, you should know like how the map function is working. So all this method you should know. Okay, if you're starting with React, so you should know these kinds of basics. So moving ahead to our seventh topic, that is event listeners. So event listeners are used to listen for and respond to events. For example, it also gives like user action. You can take examples like how we click on JavaScript. Like on click function is there, on submit function is there, on change function is there, on focus function is there. All these things, how it is working in JavaScript behind the scenes. If you're clicking on some buttons, so it is really very useful for you, like how on click is working. So along with this, you should also know like set timeout and set intervals. Moving ahead to our eighth topic, that is asynchronous events. So asynchronous operations allow non-blocking code execution. So it doesn't block the code and it just execute the code without blocking it. So there are different types of asynchronous events. First of all, there are callbacks, callback hell, promises, and promise APIs. Okay, so you should know that what is promise, because if you're fetching a data from the APIs, you should definitely know what is promises. So in productions also, if you're fetching data, you should know promises. What are the use of promises? What are asynchronous events? You should know all these things. Moving ahead to our ninth topic, that is async and await in JavaScript. Okay, so async and await also you should know. What are async and await? It is used for handling asynchronous code in a more synchronous like manner. So you can also say that it's a better version of promises, and you should definitely use this async and await if you are coding in a like coding for a production ready server. So you should definitely use async and await. To our 10th topic, that is try and catch. So it is used for handling exceptions. Okay, like you can find the bugs and like you can just handle the errors in JavaScript, and it's used for error handling. So these were the 10 topics which I wanted to tell you that you should know before learning React.js. So these are very important also because the core part is very important before starting anything new. Okay, so I hope this video will be helpful for you. Many people think to start React.js, but for starting React.js, you should know the basic concepts of JavaScript, because first of all, if you will start React.js tutorials, then you will get stuck in between, and you may leave the tutorials because you don't know the basic concepts. Because these are the core concepts of JavaScript, and you should know all this. If you like this video, you can just subscribe to my channel, and you can just share these videos with your friends who are willing to start React.js in 2024. So thank you everyone, and thank you for your time.